Good evening and welcome to the campus of Immanuel Lutheran High School for tonight's matchup between the Blair-Taylor Wildcats and your Immanuel Lutheran Lancers. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able. Take off your hats as we honor our nation and the men and women who support our freedom at home and abroad with the playing of our national anthem. Immanuel Lutheran High School, Blair-Taylor High School, and the WIAA require good sportsmanship at education-based sporting events. Attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege with the expectation to exhibit positive and respectful behavior. For the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance, your cooperation in demonstrating the high ideals of sportsmanship is expected and greatly appreciated. And now for tonight's lineup, the starting lineup for the Wildcats. Freshman number 5, Kelsey Kinchy. Senior number 10, Andy Beck. Sophomore number 12, Avery Peterson. Senior number 13, Andrea Waldera. And senior number 21, Samantha Aguilar. The Wildcats are coached by Jesse Lean and assisted by Jamie Thompson and Taylor Bowe. And now for your Lancers. Senior number 10, Katie Cokey. Senior number 11, Becky Nelner. Junior number 14, Gwyneth Gurgle. Junior number 15, Savannah Quaid. Senior number 24, Gabby Radical. The Lancers are coached by Missy Nelner, assisted by Christian Goodman. Enjoy the game.
Hello and welcome to today's matchup between the Immanuel Lutheran Lancers and the Blair-Taylor Wildcats. Lancers currently 2-2 on the year, with the Wildcats still with a perfect record at 3-0. This one tipped out of bounds off the hands of number 21, Aguilar. So Lancers will maintain possession in the first few seconds. Passing in will be Nelner. Gets in quickly to Radical, fakes the handoff to Nelner, sends up top to Quaid. Fakes back to Nelner, will dribble it up high. Kick over to Nelner. Back up top to Clokey, has some space. Steps inside, kick out corner to Gurgle. Back up high to Radical. Fakes to the paint, gonna go right back to the corner with Gurgle. Looks for Quaid, gonna dribble up and send it high to Nelner. Back over to Quaid, pass tipped away. Quaid racing to get it, Nelner gonna get there first. We're gonna drive inside, gets a screen from Clokey, gonna switch and pass back to her. Gets skip pass across to Gurgle, back quickly to Radical. Takes the paint, gonna go skip pass over to Clokey. Clokey the open three. She'll start us off with a big three up top. Lynx is an early 3-0 lead, and we'll see if the Wildcats can respond. Send back up top to back, quick to the corner, tipped it by Radical. Ends up getting there, skip pass all the way across. Quick to the short corner. Right back up high to Kinchy. Quick to the paint with Waldera. Spinning, kick out, open three. Kill, match it! Loki and Kenji getting it started off with a couple of threes. Gurgle right back up the floor. Into the paint with Quaid, tipped away and stolen away. Kenji right back up the floor. Has the pass across, can't find it in time, gonna send it back up top to reset. Hands off up top, some space, back over to Kenji. Loki up on there, gonna send it to the corner. Aguilar sends it high, another open three. Hits it again! Back to back for Kenji. It's a 6-3 Wildcat lead. Gurgle looks corner. Gonna give it to Clokey off her foot. Gonna get it back. Now looking to drive inside. Picks up her dribble. Back up high to Gurgle. Drives over toward Nelner. Gonna try to hand it off to her. Mishandled it, now stuck with it. Needs an option. Gonna eventually just get over to Nelner. She'll drive inside. Little floater. Comes up short. And out of bounds, going back to the Wildcats. Back up high as Beck takes up the floor. Swings it across with Kenji. Kenji will get in, sent down the post with Aguilar. Looks for Waldera, can't find her. Kick back out, back to the open three. Off the corner. Tipped high in the air, tipped up by Nelner. Picking a hand on his Gurgle. And she will take it up the floor. Into the paint with Quaid. Kick out Clokey, thinks about it. Gonna step inside, back over to Quaid. Pass tipped and stolen away. Aguilar up the floor, has back deep, gonna give it to her. Gurgle one-on-one. It takes a bump on the floor. And really a pass in baseline for the Wildcats. Patterson on the pass and baseline, gets in quickly to Waldera. She'll kick out for the open three. Won't take it, try to step inside. Radical there, kick back over to Waldera. Into the paint, has back pass if she wants it. Open three, she'll take this one. Rims up and out, tipped by Radical, rebounded by Radical. She'll slow it down, hand it off to Gurgle. Swings it over to Clokey, right back over to Gurgle. Clokey goes through, gets it over to Nelner. Nelner steps up, corner to Clokey. Back up high to Nelner, Nelner with a lane. Steps inside, pressure comes up short, rebound Radical, back up, fouled, and she will head to the line to take two. First foul of the night for either team, and go against Waldera. Radical's first free throw will fall. He'll get on the board here in the first few moments. As entering in will be Addison for Aguilar. Radical second will fall as well. Radical takes the most free throws and makes the most free throws here for the Lancers. Brings them back within one early after a couple of quick threes from Kenji. Lancers defense starting to settle in here. This one tipped up by Radical, handled in the corner. Gonna go cross court. Loki's there, quick pass to the corner, deep two, not gonna take it. Mishandled the pass a little bit. Swings it around over to Beck, back to the paint, overhead, and out of bounds. A little bit too high on the pass for Patterson. Got her hands on it, couldn't quite get it secure. And Lancers see if they can capitalize off this turnover and retake a lead. Currently down 1, 5-6. Over to Clokey. Right back up to Gurgle. Drives over towards Nelner. Little bounce pass. Nelner fakes the drive inside, gonna dribble back up. Down to the paint with Radical. They struggle to get it there. Radical, what's she do with it? Kick out Quaid, deep two. Bounce up and out, rebound Clokey. Open jumper. Bounce out as well, tipped by Quaid, and rebounded by Addison. Addison will take it up the floor. Picked off by Radical, read it well, has Gurgle across from her. Gonna give it to her, read well, and stolen away by Kenji. Radical stared down the pass a little bit too much. And Radical's good pick, ends up getting picked off on the other end. Kick back out to Kenji. Takes her third three, gonna kick out, go back to the corner. Into the paint, tipped by Quaid, gonna kick back out, swing around the perimeter. Over to Kenji, pass a little bit late, doesn't have a lot of space, gonna go right back up top. Cross court, tipped by Radical, not enough, back up top. Kenji, her third three. Hits it again! Kenji, 3 for 3. She's got 9 and the lead's 4. All the points for the Wildcats here in the first few minutes. Gurgle right back up the floor, gets it over to Clokey. Clokey spins, right back up to Gurgle. Run option, takes the pass, gonna find Nelner, she cuts inside. Nelner the open jumper, gets blocked, comes up short, rebound Radical. Draws the foul again, and she'll head back to the line to take 2 more. Foul goes against Addison. Second team foul in her first. Radical 2 for 2 on free throws so far tonight. Chance to bring it down to a one-possession game, as many as a 2-point game. She makes both again. Radical's first will fall. She and Kobe each with 3 points all night so far, as Goodman will come in for Nelner. And Horton will come in for Patterson. Radical second to make it a 2-point game. Off the corner, tipped up in the air. Quaid getting a hand on it. Lancers chance for their possession. High school key behind her, going to slap it off her foot. So good heads-up play from Quaid. Get a chance for a reset on the possession. See if the Lancers can exchange 1 point for 2, maybe 3. Give him another good 3-point shooter. Just came onto the floor. Loki's shown she can shoot so far tonight, and she'll pass it in on the baseline. Quaid steps out for the release. Fakes corner, gets up to Radical. Radical spins and drives inside. Kick out to Gurgle. Gurgle the open jumper. Sends it long, rebound Quaid, tipped around. Koki racing back for it. And it's going to go with the Wildcats. Lancer can't capitalize off the missed free throw. Got the rebound on it. Ended up coming up empty. Skip pass inside. Good look. Bounce up and out. Rebound Radical. Good look from Horton. Couldn't quite knock it down. Ended up hitting off the inside of the rim. As Cookie will just take it the rest of the way up the floor. As Goodman corner, she wants to skip pass. Goodman will go opposite corner. Cookie jabs in, trying to go that way. Tipped out of her hands. And they're going to say untouched by Beck. So Wildcats going to get the ball back down, up by 3, 9-6, with 12:50 to go. And it'll be Beck who will take it up the floor. Gerger will meet her at blue line. Back over to Kinsey. Back up to Beck. Takes corner. Drives up towards Kinsey. Lancers not giving her a lot of space. She's telling she can shoot tonight. Skip pass across. Good touch from Gurgle. Cookie racing to the corner. We'll get there. Pass over to Gurgle. And she'll take it up the floor. Trying to spin back around. Close to going another over and back. Good pass. Cloakey, good cut inside. Back over to Quaid. Quaid from the elbow. Bounces out. Rebound Cloakey. Steps back inside. Kick out. Goodman. Goodman the open 3. Off the back, rebound Cloakey, back up, gets blocked, and picked up by Beck, wide open down the floor, never got her eyes turned, and Beck will end up turning and just taking up the floor slowly. Back over to Kinsey, quick corner, Horton, back up top to Kinsey, back down to the paint with Waldera, double team, kick back out, Kinsey's got some space, her fourth of the night, hits it again! Kinsey makes it 12. 4 for 4 and has all the points of the Wildcats. Cookie the open 3. Bounces out, tipped out of bounds, going back to the Wildcats. Horton legs it as Aguilar enters back in. 12-6, Wildcats have doubled them up. As Kinsey yet to miss tonight, 4 for 4 on threes. All the points of the Wildcats so far. This one will be swung over to Addison, back over to Kinsey, pass down to the post with Patterson, back over to Waldera. Fake's going to step back out. Deep 2 foot on the line, knocks it down. As Addison gets on the board and makes it an 8-point game. Nelner preparing to check back in for the Lancers. Look up top, gets over to Goodman. Looking for an option. Now she'll look to drive inside. Kick back out high to Cloakey. Spins back around, he's help high. Gets it over to Gurgle. Down the paint quickly with a Radical. Immediately pressured. She'll turn, kick out. Goodman, open 3. Her second of the night. Off the front. Rebound Quaid. Shoots her out to Radical. Radical pressure immediately. Gets it across to Gurgle. Gurgle back out. Cookie the open 3. Off the back. Rebound Quaid. She'll hand off to Radical. Skip pass across to Gurgle. Gurgle the open jumper. She'll hit it! Good movement from the Lancers as Gurgle finally gets them to fall. It's back to a 6-point game, 14-8 with 10:35 to go. Up the floor to Addison. Back over to Kinsey. Over to Addison, quick corner to Aguilar. Into the paint, too high, out of bounds. Going right back to the Lancers as Milner will now enter in for Gurgle. So hot start for Cloakey since then has missed her last 2. See if they can get her going again. As we're in need some hot shooting as Goodman has yet to hit a 3 tonight as well. Currently 0 for 2. Radical's up inside, hand off to Quaid. Quaid, the open jumper. Sends it long. Rebound, Goodman inside. Taken out of her hands by Waldera. She'll slow it down and take it up the floor herself. Waldera yet to score tonight. Had a couple of good paint touches, not a lot of space. Get something off. Good read by Clokey. Can't quite pick it off. Back up top, the open three. Off the back. Tipped on the floor. Aguilar's got it. One-on-one. Rims out. Rebounded by Radical. She's tripped up and a foul is called on Addison. That'll be the third team foul on the Wildcats and the first on Addison. Look at the floor. Gonna get over to Goodman on a double bounce. Quickly into the paint to Radical. Kick out Quaid. Deep two. Just a couple of those tonight. This one's set long as well. Back up to Aguilar. Gets her dribble under control. Gonna swing it around to Waldera. Takes pass across, gonna into the paint. Aguilar steps through. Double teamed. Rims it out. Tipped up in the air. And rebounded by Kinsey. Kick out corner. Waldera, not a lot of space. Radical right there to get it. Skip pass across. Kinsey has some space. She'll take another three. This one gonna come up short. Rebound Aguilar. Tipped into the hands of Goodman. She'll slow it down and take it up herself. So Kinsey misses her fifth, now 4 for 5. Rushed that one just a little bit, now a lot of pressure on her as well. This one tipped in the hands of Quaid. Can't handle it, now back over to Clokey. Rush the shots. Quaid wanted a touch off the Wildcats, not gonna get it. As the Wildcats will take it back up the floor, currently still leading by 6 with 9:05 to go, 14-8. And it's Beck back up the floor. Swings it over. Deep corner. Aguilar the open three. Won't take it. Pressure comes. She'll send one back high to back. Quickly into the paint with Waldera. No look pass. Aguilar. Aguilar sends it long. Rebounded by Radical. Radical's got a step. That's a 2-on-2. Radical inside. Kick out to Goodman. Can't get second. Hand back off to Radical. Looking for an option. She'll step inside. Wants Quaid to head back out. Back up top to Goodman. Goodman fakes and steps inside. Off her foot. And stolen away by Aguilar. Back up the floor to Patterson. Into the paint. Fakes back up top. Tipped into the hands of Radical once again. Radical's got the speed. Foul is called on Aguilar. That'll be the fourth team foul now on the Wildcats. Going on to a 6-point lead with 8:23 to go. And again, it'll be Horton for Addison. First foul on Aguilar as Nelner will pass it in on the side. And Lydia prepares to check in after the pass in. It's into Quaid. Thinks of the paint. Now Quaid will step up. Swings it over to Goodman. Into the paint with Quaid. Double team. Kick out. Goodman. Third three of the night. Bounces out. And rebounded by Beck. Quick foul is called on Nelner. Always deals with some foul trouble. Held off for most of this first half before getting her first. Still a needless foul. Tries to get a quick steal in a spot where she could have gone back on defense. As the Clokies will trade places Lydia in for the first time tonight with 8:11 to go. Lancers pick up their second team foul. Nelner's first. And up the floor, we'll go Beck once again. Drives towards Patterson, will hand it off to her. Right back in the corner to Beck. Inside, Waldera, the open jumper. Misses short. Rebound, Aguilar, turnaround, sends it hard. Picked up by Radical and up the floor to Lydia. Waldera, first look tonight. Just sent it short, up the floor to Nelner. Looking to drive, steps through, kick out corner. Goodman is there. Looking for an option, now back up top to Lydia. Into the paint with Radical, she'll turn. Steps inside, kick out Goodman. Goodman, her 4-3 of the night. There it is! Goodman gets one down, and the Lancers right back within 3. 1 for 4 on the night is Goodman. She struggled with it so far tonight. Now look at the steal on the other end. And a chance to go down and tie it. 7:22 to go. Swings it over to Nelner. We're going to step inside, going to change direction. Down low to Quaid. Quaid got space over to Radical. Radical to turn. Up and out. Rebound Nelner. Fakes back up. Short again and rebounded by Aguilar. Lancers, couple of good looks. Couldn't quite finish it off as they had their chance to bring it down to a 1-point game. Now under 7 minutes to go. Going to hand it off to Patterson. Going to go deep corner to Beck. Back to the paint with Waldera. Good look. Sends it short again and rebounded by Radical. Back on her. Going to fake and send it over to Nelner. Looking for an option. Spinning around inside. Skip pass over to Goodman. Goodman fakes and he'll drive inside. Gets stuck in the baseline. Swings it over to Nelner. Nelner back up, gonna step through. Kick over to Radical. Radical one-on-one, loses her dribble. Fakes kick out to Goodman, getting over to Quaid. Quaid a deep two. Banks up and off, rebound Radical once again. Kick out Lydia. Lydia for the tie. Rims up and out, rebound Goodman. Right back up to Lydia again. Into the paint with Quaid. Kick out Goodman. Goodman fakes a three. Back inside to Quaid. Pass tipped and stolen by Aguilar. And a timeout called by the Wildcats, 14-11. A 3-point lead for the Wildcats. Kinsey with 12 for the 14 for the Wildcats with 6:09 to go here in the first half. Back from the timeout, 14-11, a 3-point lead for the Wildcats with 6:09 to go. Getting back up before, will be back. Some confusion with the subs. Appears the Wildcats only had 4 on the floor. End up now with 5 as Aguilar jumps off the bench. And it appears we're good to go now. As Beck will take it up the floor. 6:07 and counting. Swings it over to Kinji. Steps out. Over to Beck. Beck draws corner into the paint. Immediately double team. Tipped out of her hands. Going to get it back. Comes up short. Tipped up in the hands of Aguilar off the face of Nelner. Open three for Kinji. What do you know? Hits her 5th. She's got 15 and the lead's up to 6. Into the paint with Quaid. Kick out Nelner. Nelner drives in baseline. Pass over to Radical. Tipped out of her hands. Picked back up by Nelner. She'll put one up. Bounce off the back. Rebound Radical. Double team. So they got back out. Gets it over and swings it over to Goodman. Into the paint with Radical once again. Over to Nelner. Open jumper. This one comes up short. Rebound Quaid. Kick out corner Goodman. Goodman trying to respond. Off the back. Rebound Lydia. Hand back out to Goodman once again. She'll fake and get a screen. Deep 2 won't take it. And a travel is called. Aim it in for the first time tonight along with Clokey for Lydia and Quaid. 5:20 to go. Now a 6-point game. 17-11. As Kinji continues her hot streak, down with 15 of the 17 points. She's looking to have a career night here tonight. Beck will swing it over to Kinji. Right back over to Beck. Tipped by Nelner. Handled by Beck. Chalk coming in the corner. Good job not to foul. Going to get over to Horton. Horton going to dive inside, looking to pressure something. Kick back out. Open jumper. Bounces up short. Rebound Radical. She'll spin. Look up the floor and hand off to Clokey. And Clokey will slow it down. Over to Hammond. Back up top to Clokey. Back over to Nelner. Looking to drive inside. Kick out corner to Goodman. Takes driving in baseline. Back eye to Nelner. Mishandles the pass. Pressure comes right up on her. Swings it across to Goodman. Good find. Takes about 3. Going to take one. Bounces off short. Rebound Radical. That's Clokey out. Clokey from the elbow. Banks off short. Radical gets a hand on it. Shot gets blocked and a foul is called on Addison. Her 2nd. And the team's 5th. So Radical will take her 5th and 6th free throws on the night. As the Wildcats get close to that 7 foul mark. 4:30 to go, most likely reach it. As Radical bounces up and off. Currently 3 for 5 on free throws so far tonight. A chance to bring it down to a 5-point game with her 2nd one here. As entering in will be Patterson for Addison. And Gurgelin for Goodman. Radical 2nd to make it a 5-point game. Comes up short. Racing will get her own rebound. Cross-court pass to Clokey. Clokey has some space. Back up out to Gurgle. Gurgle from the top of the key. She knocks one down! Gurgle's got 5, and it's back to a 3-point game. Swings it across, right back up top to Patterson. Driving inside, and she'll lay it up and in. Good find up top for Madison. As a timeout called by the Wildcats, they've got a 5-point lead, 19-14, with 4:07 to go. Back from the timeout, 19-14, a 5-point lead for the Wildcats as Clokey will take it up the floor for the Lancers. Just about 4 minutes to go as they've held fairly even here with the Wildcats. Looking to finish out the half strong, give themselves a fighting chance in that second half. As Riley sends skip pass across to Gurgle, wrapping up top to Clokey, fakes a 3, kicks around to Hammett. Into the paint with Radical. One-on-one, kicks it over to Gurgle. Gurgle open jumper, won't take it. Steps up, gets it high to Clokey. Good read from Beck. Clokey coming in fast, draws the foul, and she'll take 2 at the line. Smart foul from Clokey, as it'll only be the 13th foul. Probably not going to reach the bonus. We'll make Beck earn them at the line. Currently up by 5, 19-14 as Quaid prepares to check back in after the first free throw from Beck, which bounces out. Makes the foul worth it for the Lancers. At the very least, he'll take away a point off the board, as well Dara will enter back in for Horton. And the Radical exits for the first time tonight. And the second will fall. So Beck gets her first point of the night, makes it a 6-point game, 20-14, as Gurgle takes it back up the floor. Pass fake, stolen away, send him to the floor, wide open layup, and lays it up and in. That's Kinsey, who now has 17. Lancers starting to struggle here a little bit now. Got to get some good offensive looks, keep this one close. Currently down by 8. Milner no one there on the kick out. Swoops through, gets a good look. Bounced up and out. And over the back, called on Quaid. Good job from Milner to stay strong in a tough situation. End up getting a good look because the Lancers now call timeout with 3:12 to go. Down by 8, 22-14. Back to the timeout, 22-14, an 8-point lead for the Wildcats. Looking for a strong run to end the half. They've got a couple straight here and a couple good defensive plays. Going to get their offense going and take control of this game heading into the half. Beck, quick pull on a 3, pressure right on her, comes up long. As now Nelner gets a rebound. Has Gurgle up ahead, gonna find her. Can't find the paint in time. Now back up top to Nelner, pressure from both sides. Flip to Gurgle, takes to the paint. Skip pass across to Clokey, back over to Hammett. Hammett's got some space. Just pick up and gives over to Clokey. Clokey sweeps through, tip tie in the air. Clokey get a hand on it. Back over to Hammett. Hammett had to drive, now it's poked away from her. And a jump ball. Does go back to the Wildcats. Good job from Hammett to get her hands on it and at least get the possession arrow back in the Lancer favor. As Lydia now enters for her. 2:36 to go. Still an 8-point game in the Wildcat favor. the floor goes Beck. Swings it across for Kinji. Good pass over to Aguilar. Quick back over to Waldera. She'll get on the board. Couple of nice passes to find the open shot. Makes it a 10-point game, the largest lead of the night for the Wildcats. Over to Gurgle. Drives in towards Nelner. Pass it around her. She'll step inside, open jumper. Still can't hit. Rebound Quaid. Gets fouled. No, not fouled. And there's a last touch by the Wildcats. Pass in baseline from Nelner. Gets into Clokey. Back up top to Gurgle. Corner to Nelner. She'll drive in baseline. Cut off, and a foul going to be called on Waldera. That'll be her second and the team's sixth. Next one will have the Lancers shooting 2, or 1 and 1. Radical going to enter next stoppage. Not a lot of movement. Got it. Need an option quickly into Quaid. One-on-one with Waldera. Rims up and out. Rebounded by Waldera. She'll slow it down and send it up the floor to Beck. Lancer home empty now with under 2 minutes to go. It's over to Kinji. Deep corner, wrapping up top to Kinji. Now that space, gonna send it right back to that corner. Skip pass across. Looking at the with Waldera, pass across. Handled by Aguilar. Up and out inside, rebound Quaid. Hand off to Nelner. Back over to Clokey. Gets it around, off the foot. And it'll be Lancer ball as Radical re-enters. Possibly for Milner. And nope, gonna be Lydia. Lance is going to stay big for the final minute and 39 seconds. Corner to Clokey. Wrapping up top to Nelner. Pass tipped. Handled by Gurgle. She'll step back inside. Looking for a lane. Kick out Nelner. At the corner for a second. Now down to Radical. Back up top to Gurgle. Gurgle another 3. Knocks it down! Gurgle got 2 threes on the night. 2 for 2. Brings it down to a 7-point game. Just what the Lancers needed to try to get this game back close. See if they can keep the defense going strong. They've held them in the last 2 minutes to nothing. Skip pass across. Deep into the corner. Driving up top to Kinji. Kinji the open 3. Air balls. Tipped out of bounds off the Wildcats. And the Lancers a chance to bring it down even closer with 1:03 to go. Under a minute for the Lancers. Fresh off of Gurgle's last 3. They brought it within 7. Gets it over to Nelner. Back up top to Gurgle, too high! It ends up just throwing it out of bounds as the Wildcats get it right back with 52.4 to go. Back to the paint, tipped by Quinn, is being handled by Aguilar up inside, banks it in! Back to a 9-point game. Aguilar first point of the night, Lancers go quick with 40 seconds left. Pass tipped and stolen away! All alone is Kinji! Up and in again. 19 on the night for Kinji with 29 seconds to go. Now an 11-point lead. Again stolen away. Back over to Kinji. Jumper. Bounces out. Rebound Clokey. 15 to go. Could be the Lancers' last offensive possession. Over to Quaid. Into the paint. Throws it away again. Lancers 4 straight turnovers. Had it within 7, now up to 11. And a chance for a last second shot for the Wildcats to make it even more. 11.2 to go. Up the floor is Kinji. Swings it across. Back over to Kinji. She'll most likely take the last shot. 4 seconds into the paint. Got to put it up. Skip pass across. Kinji at the buzzer. Comes up short. And a half will end with an 11-point Wildcat lead, 28-17. We will see you in 10 minutes for the second half. Lancers down 11. are back for the second half, 28-17. An 11-point lead for the Wildcats. The Lancer will start off with the ball. Berger will take it up the floor, dribbles to a trap. Now stuck with it, keeps her pivot foot, and he'll get it over to Milner. Spinning around to Beck. Stuck with it now once again. Into Quaid, chopped away and stolen away by Aguilar. Into the corner. Pass across in the paint, kick back out, open three for Beck. Still gonna start it with first three of the night. She's got 4. It's a 14-point game, stolen away, now we're gonna 1-on-3. Pressure from behind. Driving inside is Patterson, comes up short. Tipped into the hands of Clokey. Now Lancers go right back up the floor. Lancers struggling offensively, goes down. And clutching her knee, that did not look good. And she's in a lot of pain and will step away. Clokey went down in a lot of pain, not a lot of contact on her way down, which is never a really good sign. Stepped on awkwardly and it twisted weirdly. Went down immediately in a lot of pain, cannot put any weight on it at the moment. As the Lancers as a school, a lot of history with bad and knee injuries. Got to hope for the best for Clokey. She is still in a lot of pain. Try to get some updates on her as time goes on. As Gergel will look to push it up the floor. Now stuck in the corner. This one will be taken away. Sent up the floor. Pressure on her. Taken away by Gergel. Tipped around and picked up by Gergel. Ends up in the hands of Lydia. Back up top to Radical. Pressure on her. Sends it back out to Quaid. Quaid the open jumper. Knocks it down. Quaid's first points of the night. Makes it a 12-point game. Sends that one high out of bounds over the hands of Waldera. As the Lancers get it back now within 12. Gergel up the floor. Gets it over to Nelner. Into the paint with Quaid. Hands it off to Radical. Mishandles the pass. Kicks out deep corner to Lydia. Lydia the open three. She hits it! Brings it back within 9 as the Lancers starting to find a rhythm here on offense. Back over to Kinji. Up top with Beck. Hands it off from the corner to Patterson. Over to Aguilar. Off to Beck. Has a screen incoming. Back up top. Kinji going to step back out. Quickly into the paint. Swatted away by Quaid. Picked up by Lydia. Up the floor to Nelmer. Steps inside, pressure comes, Radical gets a hand on it, tipped out, hands off corner Lydia. Made her last one, fakes this one, into the paint with Nelner. Bad angle, gonna take it anyway and comes up short. Rebound Quaid, she takes a shot and the foul is called. option, can't get it in time, and a 5-second violation will be called. And the floor will go back. Driving around is Addison. Patterson's looking to drive inside off her foot. Picked up by Radical. Not a lot of room, gonna try to make room. Spinning around, it's being stolen by Aguilar. Radical probably could just slow that one down. Ends up being taken away. As now spinning inside is Beck. Into the paint. Little turnaround, banks it in. Over to Nelner. Quick to the corner. Radical takes a jumper. Takes a bump from Waldera. That'll be her third. And the team's third in the half as well. Sends one high to Radical. Kick off corner to Lydia, too high. Ends up being tipped out of bounds off the Lancers. Wildcats with an 11-point lead, 15:06 to go as they'll take it back up the floor. Pokey still a lot of ice on that knee. Still appears to be in a decent amount of pain as Beck will drive around, handoff up top to Addison. Drives around past Tipped. Ends up being handled and sent back up high to Horton. Swings it across to Beck. Directing traffic. Steps inside. Kickoff corner. Crushed on a three. Somehow gets it to fall. Crusher right up on her. And that will indeed go down as a 3. A foot close to that line as Patterson now with 5 on the night. Lancers turnover on the other end. Going to send it right back to the Wildcats. And a timeout is called. 36-22, a 14-point game with 14:37 to go. We are back from the timeout. Wildcat ball down by 14. 36-22 with 14:30 to go. Beck driving inside, gonna get a screen. Into the paint with Aguilar. Spinning around, little fadeaway. Gets the foul and wide. Goes against Radical. That'll be her first and her team's first as well. And one will bounce out, hand it off to Quaid, and Lancers will take it back up the floor. Over to Gurgle. Back up to Nelner. Into the paint with Quaid. Corner to Radical, driving inside. Kick back out, Gurgle the open 3, gonna give it to Lydia for the open 3. Rims up and out, rebound Nelner inside. Taken out of her hands and picked up by Aguilar. Up to Beck. Lydia up on her. Spinning around. Gonna get a screen, now with a lane inside. Draws the foul on Radical. Back to back, she's got 2. And heading to the line will be Beck. Beck with 4 points on the night, chance to make it 6. And get up to as many as an 18-point lead. First to fall. second and fall as well. Beck now with 6 on the night, makes it an 18-point game. Gurgle steps in. Gets over to Nelner, looking right back to Gurgle. Still drive inside, nothing there. Nelner steps up, weaving through traffic. Kick out corner to Gurgle, mishandles it. Gonna get it back and back up high to Nelner. Into the corner with Gurgle. Takes inside. Taking a screen from Radical, mishandles a dribble. Tipped in the hands of Lydia. Back over to Nelner. Into the paint with Quaid. Pressured immediately into jump ball. And that's going to go with the Wildcats. Kinsey gonna enter back in. Had 19 in that first half. He's yet to score here in the second half. Still a lot of time left. Flames will get put on a bit of press here. Need to get some quick offense. Down by 18 currently. Easily beating the press while the Wildcats up the floor is Addison spinning around. Gonna hand it off to Beck. Back over to Horton. Takes high. Now gonna give it to her. That's Kinsey. Swinging around the perimeter. Beck gonna drive in. Kicks it back out to Kinsey. Changes direction inside. Makes a move all alone. And Kinsey right back on the board to make it 21 on the day. Half for team's points. As Gurgle back up the floor, down by 20. Over to Nelner. Back up high to Gurgle. She'll drive around and hand off to Lydia. Into the paint with Radical. Steps around. Trying to get a pass off. Tipped and stolen away, but a foul was called. That'll be the team's fourth. And again, it'll be Waldera. Lydia will pass it in on the baseline. Cookie still with ice on her knee. And it's her return, getting less and less likely. Back up high to Radical. Kick out corner to Lydia. Quick release. Rims out again. Rebound down, though she'll spin. Loses the ball. It's taken away. Lydia, a couple of good looks in that corner. Back to back have rimmed out on her. Open three for Kinsey. Bounces out. And a jump ball. And it'll be Lancer ball underneath, 42-22. Before goes Gurgle. Over to Lydia. Tipped up. They get a handle on it. Looking to give it right back. Pass one away. Saves it. And back over to Gurgle. Up high to Nelner. She'll drive inside. Pass one away and stolen away. Nelner hits the floor. Kinsey mishandling. Now we're going to get a handle on it. Going to hand it off up top. Swinging around to back. Into the paint. All alone. Waldera. Wildcats double them up now with a 22-point lead. Into the paint with Quaid. Back up top to Nelner. She'll drive inside. Hand off Quaid from the elbow. Bounces up. And out. Rebound Radical. Picked up by Waldera. Up the floor with Beck. Swings it across. Kinsey's got a lane. Takes the bump. And a travel. Goodman in along with Patterson for Quaid and Beck. Takes to Lydia. Back up top with Nelner. Gets through the pressure. Tipped up in the air. Now stolen away. Back up quickly to Addison. 1-on-4. Gonna slow it down. Hand it off up top to Kinsey. Kinsey getting space. Pass to go to Waldera. Open jumper. She'll hit it again. Waldera's got 8. Timeout by the Lancers. Are down 24. 46-22. Back from the timeout. Lancers down 24. Quick pass in the paint with Radical. Double teamed. Gonna sweep back out. Up to Lydia. Lydia the open three. That one will fall. It's her second of the night. Rim down on her last two. Finally gets one to fall here. As she brings it down to 21. Kick out. Aldera into the paint. Wasn't ready for it. Gonna hand off. Swing corner. Kinsey another three. Bounces out. Rebound Nelner. Finds her space. She'll take it up the floor. A lot of speed. 1-on-3. Takes it herself. Rims up and in. First points of the night. Had a lot of good looks. Struggling to get one to fall, and now does. To make it a 19-point game. Kinsey yet to hit a three in the second half. Started out 4 for 4. Ended the half 5 for 8. Currently 5 for 10. Kinsey looking for some space, and that timeout going to be called with 10:07 to go. 46-27, a 19-point game. Back in timeout. Quick pass going right back into the paint. Spinning around and laying up and in. That's Kinsey once again, who now has 23. Over to Lydia, pass tip. She's got a handle on it. Back up top to Gurgle. Tipped and stolen away by Addison. A lot of pressure on her hand off to Kinsey, and a double dribble called. Would have been a kickball anyway. She threw it at the feet of Kinsey. Remains a 21-point game as the Lancers go back up the floor. Lancers without Clokey at the ball handling position, struggling to get some action inside. Gurgle, a lot of space, going to dribble in. A pass tipped on the way out. Back up to Lydia, back over to Gurgle. Going to go opposite way. Takes the hand off. Back in the paint with Radical. She'll step inside. Kick out corner. Goodman. Bounces out. Rebound Kinsey. She'll slow it down. A lot of pressure. Looking to get a screen. Lydia gets over it. Got a handoff corner to Addison. Tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Lancers. $9:16 to go. As a couple of subs will enter. And the pass and corner will come in from Patterson. Needs an option, sends it cross court, picked up by Aguilar. Handoff Kinsey. One dribble in, get a hand back off to Beck. Beck will take it back high to reset. Into the corner. Aguilar, going back high. Swings around the perimeter. Quick into the paint by Aguilar, little fade away. Bounce in. And Aguilar's got 4. Into the paint with Radical. She'll step through, has a lane. Sends it off too hard. Rebound and sent up the floor to Beck. Weaving through traffic, over to Kinsey. Kinsey, a wide open 3. Up and out again. Rebounded by Nelner. Kinsey's gone cold. Nelner driving inside. Has some space. Fade away through contact and one. And Nelner certainly gets him to fall. Missed her first 6 shots. Now 2 for 2 in the last 2. Chance to hit the 30s, bring it back down to 20, and get her 5th point of the game with her and 1 incoming. Quaid will enter in for Radical. 5 team fouls now on the Wildcats. Did not quite get to 7 in that last half. Ended up at 6. Very possibly to 7 here with 8:33 to go. Nelner's and 1. Bounces out. Rebound Quaid. Foul again, and she'll head to the line to take 2. Quaid will come up short on her first. Quaid currently with 2 points on the night. Also had a couple of good looks, just haven't been able to get him to fall. That's her second to hit 30. Will fall. 3 points on the night for Quaid. As Lance will be shooting the rest of the time. 16 fouls now on the Wildcats. As Aguilar picks up her third. She and Waldera both in a bit of foul trouble as Waldera will get it up high. She'll step through, kick out corner. Skip pass across through the hands of Gurgle. Mishandled by Kinsey, back up high to Aguilar. Back to Kinsey. Big skip pass and a travel. Picked up her pivot foot to pass, never into passing. Ended up taking an extra step as the Lancers have cut it down to 20 with 8:10 to go. Passing to Gurgle and she'll take it up the floor. Gorgisa with no signs of returning. Has not taken the ice off her knee in the last 20-some minutes of real time. As Gurgle mishandles the pass, picked up and sent up the floor one-on-one. Kinsey and Lydia. And a foul is called. And that'll send Kinsey to the line to take two, currently with 23 on the day. Chance to get 25 here. First will fall. Second will fall as well. 25 on the night for Kinsey. As Gurgle takes it back up the floor, down by 22. Fakes and get it over to Nelner. Nelner driving inside. Hands it off up top, stolen away by Kinsey once again. Kinsey 1-on-3 will slow it down and hand it off to Beck. Back up top, hand off Beck, quickly into the paint with Waldera, up and in. And Waldera started off slow, now with 10 points in the game as she gives the lead up to 24. Over to Lydia, corner to Goodman. Back up top to Lydia. Over to Gurgle. Gurgle steps in. Into the paint with Quaid. Over to Nelner. Nelner takes the three. Bounces out. Tipped and rebounded by Patterson. Waldera up the floor. Sends it up top to Beck. Quick corner. Open three for Kinsey. Gets it within this half. She'll hit one here. 28 for Kinsey. Gets her sixth three on the night. Gurgle drives around. Hand off corner to Lydia. For the three of her own. Bounces out. Rebounded by Beck and back up the floor. Pass into traffic. Picked off by Goodman. Back pass to Lydia. And she'll take it up the floor slowly. Into the paint with Quaid. Back over to Nelner. Nelner drives inside. Back up to Quaid. Quaid a deep shot. Banks it in. And Quaid's got 5. Back to a 25-point game. Back up top. Drives around, sends it corner. Deeper corner with Aguilar. Into the paint with Waldera. Great honor. Foul called on Nelner. Team's fourth and Nelner's second as Radical looks to enter in. And a large group of Wildcats bring to check in as well. Currently a 25-point lead as Waldera heads to the line to take two. First one bounces out, 10 points tonight for Waldera. Looks to hit her 11th with her second free throw. As number 4, Addison, and number 15, Ostenson enter in. Ostenson in for the first time tonight with another Wildcat preparing to enter for Waldera after a shot. Possibly might be the end of Waldera's night. As her second free throw bounces out, tipped into the hands of Goodman. With a large 25-point lead, Wildcats don't really have a need to have any starters out there for the final 6 minutes. As Nelson will step in, kick out corner to Goodman, down to the paint with Radical. Steps inside, draws the foul, and will take two at the line. After her first, Wildcat sub will enter for Waldera. 5:55 to go.
Radical currently
with 3 points on the night, all from free throws. And this one bounced out as well. Entering in is Horton for Waldera. And we'll see if she returns. Very unlikely As she will head to the back of the bench. Second free throw will fall for Radical. Radical, usually the Lancers' leading scorer, not so tonight, as she's been unable to get any shots to fall inside. Only points off of free throws as Beck will drive around to the corner. Open shot for Addison. Steps into it and knocks it down. Addison now with 5 on the night as she hits a 3 as well. Now a 27-point lead. Into the corner with Lydia. Deeper corner with Goodman. She'll fake and step up. Kick out Gergel. Fakes and send it over to Nelner. Gonna drive inside, gonna change direction. Kick off corner to Goodman. Goodman has some space. Now gonna dribble back up and around. Into the paint with Radical. Sweeps through, pressure on her. Gets a handle on it, hand off Nelner. Nelner driving back inside, bad angle. Rims it up and in. And Nelner now with 6. Gets it over to Kinsey. Back up top. Skip pass across. Back into the paint. Portland will turn around. Bounces out. Tipped out of bounds. We're heading out of bounds. Handled by Gergel. Triple teamed. And a jump ball. .46 to go and a 25-point lead for the Wildcats as number 24, Thorson will enter in for the first time tonight for Beck. And go ahead and assume that her night might be done as well. 4:46 to go. Has Kinsey in the corner, sends it late. Tipped by Neller. Kinsey gets a hand on anyway. All the way in. Comes up short. And rebounded by Radical. Hand off to Nelner. Hands back off to Radical. Radical going to drive inside. Skip pass across to Goodman. Goodman, the open 3, won't take it. Steps inside, stripped of it. Can he get it back? Hand off Nelner. Nelner drives in baseline, passes the paint with Radical. Quick turnaround, comes up short. Rebounded by Thorson. And handed off to Addison. Pass across to Kinsey. Quick corner. Open jumper won't take it. Back to the paint. Tipped out of her hands. Kick back out. Stolen by Lydia. Drives all the way in. Blocked out of bounds by Kinsey. Pick up high to Goodman. Swings it across to Gergel. Into the paint with Radical. Radical steps in. Looks corner and a travel is called. .356 to go. Back up high to Kinsey. Takes to Thornton. And a foul is called. Nope, timeout called by the Wildcats. 60-35, a 25-point lead with 3:42 to go. Back to the timeout. Eichstead, Alex, who will be calling Nelner. Williams and Hammett all entered in during the break. Open 3 for Kinsey, which he sends long. Rebound and kick back out. Another open 3. That one sent long as well. Rebound Kinsey inside. Comes up short. This one comes up short as well, but a foul is called. Kinsey with 27 on the night. Chance to hit 30. Not here, but a chance at 30 for the end of the game. As she remains in. A freshman starter on this team. And she is showing them why. Got a bright future ahead of her, dropping 29 in just her 4th game. I miscounted earlier. She now just hit 30. So her first 30-point game has her team up 27, almost half her team's points. Dropping 7 threes on the night. As Gergel will step up. Pressure on her, gonna hand it off to Nelner. Nelner stuck with it, back up by to Gergel. Right back over to Nelner. Nelner drives inside. Gonna draw a foul, can't do it. Tipped out of bounds, staying with the Lancers. And Milner will pass it in on the baseline. Sends it high to Williams. Kick over to Nelner. Steps up, right back over to Williams. She'll spin, pass across to Gergel. Back over to Hammett. Has some space, won't take it. Back up high to Gergel. Swings it around to Alex. And a travel is called. Pass in, sent right back to Addison. Hands it off to Horton. Horton with pressure. Looks inside. Pass tipped by Hammett. Ends up in the hands of an open Wildcats. Banks up and out. Rebounded by Hammett. And a jump ball. Pass into Gergel, and she'll take it up the floor, down by 27 with 2:37 to go. Over to Hammett. Sends a corner to Williams. Sends it back out to Hammett. Hammett's got some space. She'll step in. A lot of pressure back over to Williams. Mishandles it and drops it out of bounds. Back up the floor goes Addison. Steps out, looking for an option. Sends it back high. Horton will drive around, has a lane inside. 1-on-1 Eichstätt, little floater, knocks it. Horton on the board with 2. Girl gonna drive around. Hands it off corner to Alex. Alex steps up, over to Hammett. Pressure comes. Tipped and stolen away by Addison. That's a 1-on-2. Drives it on Alex. Plays it up. Addison, a strong drive, makes it a 6-point game. And now a 31-point lead. Over to Hammett. Pass inside quickly to Eichstätt. Pass over to Williams, thought she was cutting. Ends up floating out of bounds. The Wildcats take it back with 1:31 to go. Lancers some press, sends it up high, no one there. Hammett racing for it. And a wisely let it drop out of bounds, and the Lancers will pick it up. And there's a passing baseline from the Lancers. Might have stepped over the line on the pass. As Alex will pass it in baseline. Sends one high to Hammett. A little too high. Step back to get it. Corner to Alex. Pressure on her and a foul was called. And that'll send Alex to the line to take a 1-and-1. 1:26 to go. First bounces out. Not get a second. She sends this one over to Horton. Sorry, Addison. Addison gets a screen, hits shot spot, and knocks it down. Addison now with 9. As Gergel takes it back up the floor with 1:10 to go. Changes direction, looking for an option, gets it over to Hammett. Hammett to the paint with Eichstätt. Pass tipped and back into the hands of Gergel. Back over to Hammett. Hammett's got some space, won't take it. Back up high to Gergel. Drives over and hand off to Alex. Alex is going to drive in baseline. Kick back out to Eichstätt. Drives up, hand off to Hammett. Hammett takes a shot. Back into Eichstead, and a jump ball. Now they go back with the Wildcats with 45.5 to go. Still some press coming from the Lancers. Worked on a lot in JV. Most of these players swings from JV. As driving inside, little floater comes up short. Rebound Williams off a foot. Tipped out of bounds, going back to the Lancers. Pass in the gurgle. 30 seconds to go. Lancers possession is limited here down the stretch. Hand off to Hammett. Spin inside. Gets it over to Williams. Williams steps in. Hand back off to Hammett. Fakes. Back into Eichstead. Swings it over to Alex. Mishandles it. And taken away by Alexson. 12 seconds to go. Ostenson. Up top. 6 seconds. Steps inside. Up and in. For Addison. Time running out. Last second shots. Gurgle comes up short from the limit. 70 to 35. Wildcats double them up. As Clokey remains on the bench, has not removed the ice from her knee. Lancers, this game basically ended when she went out. Lancers were down 20 at that point. Could never get their footing back on offense. As Clokey, see if we have word from her. Probably will by Thursday, which is when I will, well, I won't see you. When we'll be back live once again, as it'll be our boys' first home game. C team at 4:30, JV at 6:15, JV at 6, Varsity at 7:15. I'll be doing none of those games because I'm playing. Uriah Wales will be doing the C team game. Then Drew Eichstead will come up and do the JV game. Finishing off with Uriah Wales doing the Varsity game. As the Lancer guys 1-0 on the year after getting a nice win at Independence Gilmanton. We're going to keep that perfect record alive as the girls drop to 2-3 on the year. And we'll finish off the week on Saturday with another C-Team JV and Varsity guys matchup that'll be away at Whitehall. That one will be streamed as well. Lancers drop this one 70 to 35, drop to 2-3. Prayers for Clokey as she tries to hobble off the court. Oh man, we're cooked. Ah! So dumb.